Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for the Bits and Bites. That's right, all things consumable from all the places you want to be. That's right, it's the United States edition. What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. It just means we're perusing week by week every state with every food and drink they got to offer to the rest of the country. What have you brought to the table lately? Insert your state here. It's a 50 states in 50 weeks. And if you're gonna do in your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, you would know that week 48 can only bring you to one state. Week 48, there's one state, and it's the powerful state of West Virginia! West Virginia, welcome to the show. We've been waiting so long for you to join us, and now you're here. Thank you so much for joining West Virginia. You're such a strange little state. We don't even know you exist. No one goes to you. No one knows about you. But we're going to find out about you right now on Bits and Bites. That's right. Per usual, we got the flag behind us. Let's take a quick peek. Wow, that's an odd one. Don't be fooled. It's a white flag, but surrounded by a blue banner, so it's a blue flag with a white flag inside. A couple of dates. This Mountain Cemetery Infirmary, which means nothing. So let's just get right to the fast facts of this fucking weird mountain state. Nicknamed a mountain state. Statehood in 1863. It says it on the flag. Must be real. 35th state of the union. God bless ya. Population, 1.8 million. Capitals, Charleston. Oh, wow, Charleston. I guess I've been there. Biggest city, Charleston. Abbreviation, West Virginia. WV. State bird. Everyone's favorite part of the show. Boom! Kissing cardinals. Well, it's actually a cardinal, but for this example, we apparently have kissing cardinals that are the color of flamingos. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but it's okay. Cute cardinals. I thought Arizona was a cardinal state, but, you know, I don't know. It seems like by the end of the year, every fucking state is just ripping off birds and flowers from every other state. This isn't a show about birds and flowers, so let's just hit the next one. State flower, rhododendron. There's Uncle Bob's fucking front yard with his big old rhododendron he loves. And his shitty old Toyota that's falling apart, but still runs. So, you know, Martha won't let him get rid of it. That's a big fucking rhododendron. Jesus Christ. Well, here we are, guys. West Virginia, the time has fucking come. Do you believe it? Week 48 is here? And West Virginia is the state? You know, you would hope if you went alphabetically, like, you would think our forefathers planned it so it would, like, hype up for the show. You know, they knew this show was coming. You would think by week, they're like, come on, this guy's gonna make a show week 48, 49, 50 is gonna be fucking huge. 48, we're on the precipice of the end. And we're in West Virginia. But it's all right. We got some booze from West Virginia. We got a food from West Virginia. Charleston's in North Carolina. I'm sorry. I know I just read it's in West Virginia, but yeah, let's pull it up. Pull the map. West Virginia. What's the Google guy say about this? West Virginia is an eastern U.S. state in the tree-covered Appalachian Mountains. Ah. Of course, one of these Appalachian fucking states. Oh, it's right next to Pittsburgh. We'll call this the Midwest. This is under Pittsburgh rule. The town of Harper's Ferry, where the Shenandoah River meets the Potomac River, is the site of a famous Civil War era raid. Ah. Surrounded by a National Historical Park, the town looks as it did in the 19th century, with many of the buildings open to the public as a living history museum. Well, that's fucking cool. That makes for a great state. Let's zoom in. Let's get the lay of the land here. West Virginia, you're a weird one. Let's zoom out. Obviously, we're on the West Coast. Obviously, we're west of Virginia. So this was obviously a part of Virginia at some point. I believe in the Civil War, they broke off. Now, Virginia was being real weird with their Civil War shit. West Virginia's like, nah, dude. You do your thing. We're going to be up here with the rest of the guys that are not doing that. So West Virginia, what do we got? To the northeast at the 1 o'clock, Pennsylvania. Touching Maryland, touching Virginia, obviously. Kentucky's involved. Ohio. What a weird spot. And it's at Charleston. I mean, there's obviously another Charleston involved here, but that's not the Charleston that we all know and love. Chat saying that we live in the time where West Virginia didn't just rejoin Virginia after the Civil War. Yeah, I think these West states, the states that do that, yeah, they broke out of the Civil War. They just never came back. Well, let's be honest. Our government probably was just like, hey, we'll just give you money, just be a state. And then they said, fuck it, Virginia, we love you, but let's just keep this thing. Does anyone anywhere know anyone who lives in West Virginia? Do you know one person? I got a question. Call the number right now, 843-REBEL-TV. Do you or someone you know someone who has lived, worked, breathed, ate, existed, or drove through West Virginia? Taking your calls. I got no one. I don't know fucking anybody that knows that city exists. It's almost like the Bermuda Triangle, if you look at it. It's kind of like between Pittsburgh, Columbus, and Richmond. It's this weird fucking place that doesn't exist. I don't think it exists. But here we are. West Virginia. You're a tough one. We had the research team go hard in the paint. I found something West Virginian. And to be honest with you, Jesus Christ, here we go. We got to put on our fucking name. Yeah, 1/1/1901. That's when I was born. We got a phone call. We got a West Virginia calling. Is this working? Let's see. Let's take a phone call. Hello? You're live on the show.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, it's Brian.
Hello, Brian. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, Brian from New Jersey. Oh, we're taking West Virginia calls only, but hello, Brian.
Yeah, well, I've driven through West Virginia.
I don't believe it. It seems like a fake fucking place.
No, it's not a fake place. All my friends went to West Virginia University, and it's from Morgantown.
From Morgantown? What does that even mean? Is that a town?
Morgantown is where West Virginia University is, and all my best friends went to West
All right,
Virginia
well,
University.
I mean, no insult. Hold on. What is the name of the college? Is it Morgantown?
It's WVU, West Virginia University.
WV University. Let's Google it. Have you been there?
WVU. Yeah, I've been there. I also drove home from there at 4 a.m, quite inebriated.
I don't believe that. No, I think you mean you were fine and it was a fine, sober, fine ride. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly what you said.
Okay, but let's be fair. I'm looking at where this is on the map. It looks like you're borderline Pennsylvania here. This isn't West Virginia. This is Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, it was a 6-hour drive. That's all I remember.
Yeah, fucking Pittsburgh's like fucking 20 hours away. It's still Pennsylvania somehow. Chat says Western.
All I know is that was the first time I had Chick-fil-A, and I realized they were closed on Sundays, and I knew there was something wrong immediately.
Do they love Jesus out there? Is West Virginia a Jesus state?
Probably do.
Yeah, they probably do. I don't know anything about West Virginia, but now I guess I know a little bit more. I don't know.
They apparently make some good Chick-fil-A out there.
I mean, Chick-fil-A's good everywhere. Let's be fair. I mean, I know they're closed on Sunday, and I guess they hate the gays, but, they make a good chicken sandwich.
Consistent.
I like a chicken sandwich. I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with the rest of this stuff, but,
Well, anyway, Billy, nice talking to you, and I'm glad that we can agree that West Virginia is the greatest state in the United States.
I don't know about that. Let's get into it a little bit. Thanks for calling, though, Brian. Appreciate your call. Thanks for calling, Brian. Appreciate the call. Apparently, West Virginia's got Chick-fil-A. Big fan, Chick-fil-A. Perhaps not their ethics, but give me a chicken sandwich. Yeah, I don't go to them for their fucking morals. I'm there for the Sando. The Sando's good. There it is, though. WVU, that is a fucking thing. To be fair, it's like borderline Pennsylvania. Riverfront Research School, founded in 1867 with a range of academic offerings and medical school. I mean, I feel like I've heard of WVU. I feel like I've heard of that. Chat says WVU is the most metropolitan place in the state. Yeah, that seems right. It looks like the biggest city. Look, let's get into what matters. We're here for the fucking food and the drink, all right? The first thing, commend me for finding something out of West Virginia that was fucking made there. And here it is. It's the old Smooth Ambler. Contradiction Bourbon, baby. Terrible name. I'm gonna guess it sucks, but let's see. Contradiction Bourbon, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Non-chilled filtered. I've had great chilled filtered whiskey, so I don't know why a lot of places say non. What's the back say here? The whiskey in your hand is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Bourbon we distill in the mountains of West Virginia. And bourbons we source mingled, in bold, by the way, mingled together beautifully. It's a bold balancing act of flavors that enhance one another. There's a bit, here's the thing. There's a bit of contradiction in every balance, a resolution to the draw of different forces. I already hate this fucking whiskey. Or in our case, different bourbon. Simply put, contradiction is a whiskey that's greater than the sum of its parts. Pour a little and see for yourself. And then on the bottom, let me just show you. It defines mingle for you. Verb, to unite or join. And apparently this is inspected batch 414 by James. So fucking shout out to James. I wish we had James on the line. But before we do anything, let's fucking get into it. Let's fucking, let's try the old contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in there. To West Virginia. The only thing I could find that was made there that's made of liquid. Cheers. Oh, smells rough. I'm getting bold tannins. It's actually pretty good. I don't know if we're going to call it contradiction, but it is smooth. It needs ice. It's not the kind of thing I need to appreciate without ice. It's obviously a blend. Did they distill it there? There's obviously the question we do all the time. Produced and bottled by Smooth Ambler Spirits Company, Maxwell. Yeah, so they actually make this there. Wait a minute. Hold on. Lies abound. Here we go. Like every bourbon on the fucking show, it's full of lies. Take a look at the small print. I'm telling you, when you buy bourbon, look at the small. If you care about where it's from, which you don't have to, because there's great bourbon from a lot of places, but look at the small print. Here it is, right above James's signature. Look. What's that say? Distilled in West Virginia, comma, Tennessee, comma, and Indiana. Also, we've learned you don't have to put a comma between and Indiana, so this is grammatically incorrect and arguably incorrect. That said, it was not an expensive bottle, and this is not a bad bourbon. It's a blend. I'm not mad at it. So they're buying blends from Indiana, the big MGP place that every fucking other state that we looked at, most every other state gets their shit from. Tennessee, I don't know where they're getting it from, but yeah, it's a nice spec. It's a blend. It's fine. It's good. You know, it's tasty. Is it my favorite? No. Would I order? It's sweet. It's got this bourbon sweetness note is hit. Oh, show. So thanks for that, West Virginia. I guess we're gonna suck down some of this old. I always love a bourbon that has a elephant on the front balancing on a barrel that says contradiction. because that makes sense. Anyway, thank you, Smooth Ambler, for coming to the table and giving us your wares. We'll appreciate that. So, in the pursuit of bits and bytes, which is food and drink, we found the booze. We found the West Virginia drink. Lucky us. But did we find the bites? You know, West Virginia's a weird state, almost non-existent. So what do you eat in West Virginia? What's iconically West Virginia? And when you look into it, I'll fast forward the story here. Let's just fucking get to it. It's called... Chat, hilarious. Already calling 48 in the back. We're 21 minutes into a stream and you're calling it into the bag. I mean, I gotta be honest. Of all the states, this is a tough one. We're fucking ringing this we're gonna ring this rag. You know, you go find yourself some iconic food in West Virginia. And when I did my research, the first thing I found is the thing we landed on. But the first thing I found, I didn't stop there and move. I looked on, I dug. And I came back to it all the time. And the only thing I could find was pepperoni rolls. For some reason, West Virginia lays claim to the pepperoni roll. Their pepperoni roll utilizes like a, you know, I'm talking to a broad audience here. Anyone from the East Coast or where I live, when you think of a pepperoni roll, you go to a pizza place and they got strombolis and you get a slice of a pepperoni stromboli or something. That's like what you assume a pepperoni roll is, which is essentially old pizza dough laid out with cheese, pepperoni. They just fucking fold it up, let it fucking cook hard, and then bring it out and give it to you. It's delicious. It's great. West Virginia has a whole different vibe. West Virginia's pepperoni rolls look like this. I mean, this is what a West Virginia pepperoni roll looks like. All right, it's French bread with like cubes and squares of pepperoni inside. And some have cheese and some don't. But the idea is to bake the bread with the pepperoni and or the cheese in it. And enjoy that as like from what I remember reading, this was a couple weeks ago, it was like a coal worker's lunch. I guess it's a big coal economy or something. You know, they have a lunch. So I had two options. All right, three options. One, I could have went to a local New Jersey pizzeria and got a pepperoni roll from them and a stromboli, but that's not what a West Virginia one is. Now, I've never had a West Virginia one, so it's hard for me to recreate it. Did I try? Of course I fucking did. So, we got some French bread dough, essentially. And I have three different versions here. You can tell, like, going from what looks like a good one to what looks like a mosh-up of shit that was left over, which is exactly what this is. I put the sticks of pepperoni in there, which is the bit. Like, that's a big part of it. And this one, well, you can see that these two are stuck together, which is actually also part of it, because when they bake, it's all about the grease, apparently. From what I've read, the grease of the shitty pepperoni kind of leaks in, and that's part of it. Like, the pepperoni grease should be in there. So, yeah, I tried to get, like, really high-quality pepperoni, but that's not a good idea, because you want the shit pepperoni with the shitty grease. And that's the idea. And again, it should look like this, but I made this. And I think I might have overcooked it. Maybe my dough wasn't great, but we're going to cut it. We're going to see. This one's an amalgamation. We knew this one was going to be bad. This was all the chopped up bits at the end. That's like scrap. This one has cheese, and I think this one does not. Or maybe vice versa, but we're going to find out. I use a French bread dough, a basic recipe. It wasn't proofed perfectly. It wasn't ready. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do for the show. So let's slice her open. That's right. Let's just get in there. Let's fucking go. I mean, did we hit it? I mean, it's kind of like that. I mean, it's kind of like the picture. There's got a little bit more fluff, but it's kind of like it. I mean, literally, this one's got 3 in it. I didn't even plan that. You know, I mean, the pepperoni smells big for sure. So that's the one that's just pepperoni. There's no cheese in this one. And let's see the one with the cheese. Big Frico energy here. The cheese kind of just like melted away into that Frico. Kind of turned into nothing. But this one apparently has cheese. A lot harder on this one. And this one is just all the scraps put together, rolled up literally into a ball. So this one doesn't really count. This is fresh out the oven. It's still warm. But, you know, if we're going to talk about pepperoni rolls, you know, obviously I'm not an expert pepperoni roll maker. Okay? Cheers, smooth Ambler. Ooh, tasty. I'm not an expert pepperoni roll maker. Okay? Could I have ordered a fucking dozen from Goldbelly from, what is this? Tomorrow's Bakery? Let's see what they do. Could I have ordered a dozen from them for like $100? Yeah, but am I gonna do that? Come on, fucking no, of course not. Is their roll delicious? Yeah, I'm sure it's great. We saved the budget for the last episode. Okay, that's what all the budget is. Okay, so we got to pull back a little bit on West Virginia, Wyoming. We got a little bit of budget for it. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like inside. We're kind of there. I mean, we got the grease in the bread. That's the idea. But let's watch some Marion County, West Virginia bitch, Alicia, show us how to make a pepperoni roll. I think that's what we're supposed to do right now.
Welcome to my kitchen. Like you, I've been doing a lot of baking and cooking these last few weeks. But
Me
something
too.
I've never made, pepperoni rolls. But why should I? I live in Marion County, and I'm just minutes away from some of the best pepperoni rolls in the state. So I thought I'd take this time and try my hand at making pepperoni rolls. I'm using a recipe that I used with my bread maker, except my bread maker broke recently, so I'm still using the same recipe, and I've done it for a few other dishes, and it seems to turn out okay, so I'll give it a try. The first ingredients...
Number one, I want to turn this video off already. I took a while to find this video. I didn't watch it. Anyone who has a bread maker or uses a bread maker, just go home. I mean, just go home. I've never used a bread maker in my time, but I'm just not getting it. Do you know how bread works? Like, you mix it in a mixer and then move on with your day. You know, I don't know what the bread...
Now serving...
All right, let's see what this... It is CBS Sunday Morning. There should be some better content. Let's see what this is about.
Lunch. Pepperoni rolls, to be precise.
Oh!
Unfamiliar to many of you, but a mainstay of the Mountain State. Connor Knighton takes us home.
To note that as I snack on these, my bad French bread recipe with bad store-bought pepperoni and bad store-bought mozzarella is really fucking good. I mean, I just didn't want to get... What I didn't want to do is go buy a stromboli, which is a pepperoni roll in New Jersey, because the construction's different. They keep it open-ended almost. And this is more like a stromboli, where the shit's flying out of it. West Virginia's apparently, like, they make a little, like a dinner roll, and they jam the shit in there. So I wanted to do that. That's why I didn't buy it. So onward with the video.
I grew up in West Virginia, and so when those country roads take me home, my first stop is to get a pepperoni roll. West Virginia's...
All right. Also, clearly, I overbaked these. They're a little hard. That looks like a nice fresh hoagie roll with some pepperoni in it. pepperoni roll mascot? I mean, it can't be real. Come on.
A dozen hot pepperoni rolls and a bag of minis.
Dozen minis, a dozen hot.
At Tomorrow's Italian Bakery in Clarksburg, the staff makes them just as fast as the customers can eat them.
I need 6 hot pepperoni rolls.
But if you're
I need 6 hot pepperoni rolls. That guy loves a pepperoni roll.
not a local, then you probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
The first time I met somebody who didn't know what a pepperoni roll was, I was flabbergasted. Like, why haven't you had this amazing culinary delight?
Author Candace Nelson grew up in Wellsburg, West Virginia, and has become the state's pepperoni roll expert.
Before we get into this pig and her discussions about pepperoni rolls, I took a bite of each. I just want to say, pepperoni is a great vehicle for dough because if you've ever cooked with pepperoni before, if you ever heat pepperoni up, it oozes grease. It's a cured sausage essentially, so it has all this fat in it. So when it sees heat, it oozes it out. I recall back in the day, I don't know who it was. I remember my dad was making, omelets or something in the morning and cooking pepperoni. And when the meat would hit the pan, all of that fat would ooze out. The pan would be covered in red pepperoni oil. And when you add the eggs, it becomes pepperoni eggs. It's beautiful. So, pepperoni on its own, cold on a sandwich, delicious. Love it. Everything from shitty Hormel pepperoni to artisan quality pepperoni, really delicious, peppery bite. We get it. It's like a salami with a pepper bite. But it does, I want to shit on, don't get me wrong. I want to shit on the pepperoni roll. But here's where it makes sense. You're wrapping it in a dough, so when it's heating up, all of that ooze of the grease is going into the dough. So it really does make sense, because as I take bites of this, even my poorly formed one that I've made, the dough is saturated with the pepperoni juice. And this, perhaps a controversial opinion here, but when I get a pizza, fuck your pepperoni. I don't want it on it because the pepperoni lays on top of the cheese, which means all of the oil from the pepperoni just pools on top of the cheese and it's not doing anything. If you tell me you're getting some pepperoni strombolis or pepperoni Sicilian pie, maybe, where the pepperoni's underneath the cheese, I'd be into it because the oil seeps into the dough. The oil in the dough is what's making this happen. This is what's making this good. What I just made here, obviously, I'm not hyping it up. I've made bad representations of what we're watching, right? There's no question. These are rock hard. Pepperoni's falling out. They're a little overbaked, but it's okay. They're still tasty. But the point is, I get the gist now. The grease from the pepperoni goes into the dough between the crust and between the soft layers of the bread. So the greasy pepperoni dough combined with the now drier pepperoni and the cheese is really a nice, beautiful thing. I get it, West Virginia. I'm with you. Let's go.
She frequently finds herself describing what one is in terms of what one isn't.
So oftentimes you'll hear it's a pizza pocket or it's a hot pocket or maybe it's a calzone or a stromboli, and it's similar to that.
I'm willing to say, and I've never watched this video before, she's going to be on the same page as me. If she's not, I have nothing to say.
But that's kind of stripping away its history.
I don't know about its history.
That history dates back to West Virginia's coal mining heyday, when Italian immigrants moved to north central West Virginia to work in the mines. They ended up bringing their culinary traditions down with them, and the pepperoni roll, which is just Italian bread with pepperoni baked inside, was developed as a convenient, one-handed snack that wouldn't spoil in their lunch pails.
Yeah.
It might sound silly, but it's something that's unique to us.
Oh, this guy.
And, it's from here, made by us.
Chris Pilata is the owner of Country Club Bakery in Fairmont, which was founded in 1927 by Giuseppe Argiro, a coal miner from the Calabria region of Italy, who's generally credited as being the first.
All right, so they're making legit ones.
pepperoni
Let's look. I mean, this is not how I made mine. It looks like they're rolling pizza dough ball or bread dough balls, hoagie dough rolls or something, and then sticking sticks in. Let's see.
As he soon found out, More than just miners were craving a snack that was cheap, hearty, and portable.
Big part of our business is that they travel so well because it's not real messy. People grab a dozen pepperoni rolls, throw them in the car, and you know they're all on a vacation. They go to ball game.
Nothing makes me happier than the. How sad is the person who has to dress up like the pepperoni roll, though? I mean, that's fucking sad. That's fucking terrible. Feel bad for that person. When I did my research, there are two different types.
I've tried.
This is a different type. There's a type with the stick pepperoni. This is almost like a fucking Pats and Geno's thing. And then some people do the sliced pepperoni, and I'm not counting what's there, but in my research, they said it's 8 slices of sliced pepperoni or 3 sticks of pepperoni. And those are the two varieties that you get. And obviously different, I guess, expressions of pepperoni. Like, I don't know. Sliced pepperoni is going to give you probably more surface area. And then the stick is going to give you more texture, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, there's probably a place for both. In this packaged version, I kind of like the stick, but
Pride.
Oh my.
Perhaps that's why there's so much pepperoni pride. If you're a West Virginian and you're holding one, that means you are home.
The pepperoni roll really does kind of embody who we are as West Virginians. It's simple, it's hardworking, and it's utilitarian, and I think that really speaks to who we are as a whole.
That was it. All right. I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, at least you showed us what's going on. I mean, here's a tutorial. Pepperoni roll review. Who's the best? Hot dogs at Tudor's Biscuit World now. West Virginia pepperoni roll tour. All right, let's do that. 3 minutes. Let's go.
Deeply embedded in West Virginia's fabric is the iconic pepperoni roll. Yeasty handmade dough with pepperoni sticks baked into its center. From this simple idea came an insatiable trend which has taken on a life of its own. The pepperoni roll is ubiquitous in the Mountain State, with variations ranging from subtle to gut-busting. But where did it come from? Ask any West Virginian and they'll tell you.
Miners.
Those pictures looked like they were just hoagies. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Make it just stick with the simple bit. Don't add chili and cheese. What are we doing?
Take their lunches into the mines, and their favorite snack was a stick of pepperoni roll and a loaf of bread. Giuseppe Ordro, he just decided, well, why don't we just bake the pepperoni into the bread, make it easier to take it down the mine, and it's a staple around here, the pepperoni roll, so everyone knows it, and everyone obviously loves them.
But go outside of the state, and the pepperoni roll is, well,
they're like, what? What's that?
I mean, it's pretty good.
You cannot get pepperoni rolls everywhere.
Armed with our appetites, we took to the heart of pepperoni roll territory for a closer look. But let's start at the beginning with the unadulterated pepperoni roll. Country Club Bakery in Fairmont, West Virginia is credited with the invention of the pepperoni roll.
Wow, all right.
Giuseppe Argiro created the
Holy shit, look at all that dough. Do you see that? Look at that old school fucking dough bin.
of the pepperoni roll. Giuseppe
Wow.
Argiro.
Look at that. Hey, what is that, made of cedar? Holy shit. Oh, Giuseppe. Wow. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I want the OG. I think there's a beauty. Again, I made a bad version. of a pepperoni roll, and it's really good. So I hate to say this. I have to say, West Virginia, they're probably really fucking good. They're probably really good pepperoni rolls. So let's see how they ruin them. I don't know.
Created the practical fix for his fellow Italian miners in 1927 and founded what would become Country Club Bakery. Nearly 90 years later, the pepperoni roll is still made the same way Argiro made them, from scratch and by hand.
Yeah, those are definitely less cooked than mine, and they look much softer, but I'm not mad at that.
Just down the road,
That
John
was
and
very
Carrie Minas continued the tradition set forth by the Colasesino family in the 1950s at Colasesino's Pizza and Pasta.
Josephine and Spider Colasesano started it down in the Bellevue area, Fairmont.
Here, the pepperoni roll gets the Italian treatment.
Oh, no.
Colasesano's pepperoni rolls uses the stick pepperoni.
Yes.
We make them fresh every day.
I mean, it was stick.
But what people like about the Colasesano's pepperoni roll is we slice it open and we put in a homemade sauce and then the Oliverio peppers and provolone cheese.
I mean, again, that's
At
probably
Mario's
good,
New
but
York-style pizza in Mannington, things start to look a little different.
I think we're
Linda
missing the point.
Mascalino, a former waitress-turned-restaurant owner, taps into her childhood, using her mother's dough recipe to make a most delicious version of the pepperoni roll.
What we do is we take a dough patty, we stretch the dough patty out, and then we put some pepperoni, some cheese, we roll our own, then we go ahead and bake them in our oven.
I mean, that's a stromboli.
It's a very important demarcation line. And
That's a legit stromboli. They're just making a pizza and rolling it up. That's a stromboli. So stop there, West Virginia. West Virginia, I love you, I suppose, but you're not allowed to take what a stromboli is. That's a, I don't even want to say, I have to say it's an East Coast thing. It's an East Coast thing. You don't get to have a stromboli. I'll give you the pepperoni roll. Your encased pepperoni sticks in a non-hard baked roll, I'll give you. But you can't make a pizza and roll it up and say this is mine. You don't get to do that. I'm sorry. I have to protect what's ours, okay?
in the world of pepperoni rolls.
When you have the pepperoni sticks, you take a bite of the pepperoni sticks, the whole stick comes out.
Whatever your opinion, Mario's is doing something right.
On June 1st, I'll be here 16 years.
16
and
years.
This is my hometown.
God bless.
Of course, we only scratched the surface. Overstuffed and completely smitten with the pepperoni roll, we bid West Virginia adieu. Although we certainly didn't leave hungry.
Look, West Virginia, you're kind of ripping off the Stromboli. I'm going to give it to you. Here's where I draw the line. And I am a professional of the baked arts, a professional doctor, and a professional legalese man. If it's enclosed, if the dough is wrapped, enclosed with stick pepperoni or sliced and or cheese involved, with no pepperoni being exposed outside of the baked good, we can call it a pepperoni roll and give it to West Virginia. If and when the pepperoni is exposed on the outsides like this, it becomes a Stromboli. And when it becomes a Stromboli, you're in East Coast turf, baby. You're not West Virginia anymore, okay? You're in East Coast turf and you owe a tax to Poppy. You know what I'm saying? Is that week 48 in the bag? Like, I don't even know do we even hit an hour? Jesus Christ. Ugh. All right, let's call him. Let's see. Calling the West Virginia hotel. I feel like this might go downhill quick, but let's just do it. And if so, we'll just cut it out. Hampton Inn, Weston. Let's do it. Calling Hampton Inn, Weston. While I dig into my Stromboli.
Thank you for calling the Hampton Inn Weston. We're free Wi-Fi, free hot breakfast, and our clean and fresh Hampton beds are waiting for you. For reservations, press 1. For the sales office, press 2. For all other calls, simply stay on the line.
I'll stay on the line.
You are being transferred to the operator.
Fantastic. Where are we? West Virginia.
Hampton Inn, how can I help you?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm coming through West Virginia, but I just have a couple questions about the food there. Like, what's like the best food in West Virginia?
Where are you going to be at, like location-wise?
Well, I'm going to be staying possibly in Weston, like at the Hampton Inn, but I mean, I'm from New Jersey. I do like a show on like the food and drink places. So before I stay there, I just like to ask someone who's around, you know, if you're putting a gift basket together, what's the number one thing? Hey, here's some food from West Virginia.
Pepperoni rolls.
Pepperoni rolls? All right.
Yes.
What now? I've never been to West Virginia. Is that like a stromboli?
It's basically like a hot roll with pepperoni and cheese inside of it.
Ooh.
And you take the pepperoni and cheese and you stuff it inside of your raw dough and you bake it.
Oh, so like the pepperoni grease gets in the roll. I kind of like that. So that's
and they use like a diced pepperoni inside of it.
Oh, nice. That's a big thing in West Virginia.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and it's pretty obvious people come here from out of town and they've never heard of it. So
nice. And that's
probably like my go-to recommendation.
So that's what you put in the basket for West Virginia. What is that? There's a bunch of places that make them, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah. They even sell them at our Walmarts here.
Damn, Walmart has them? Okay.
Yeah.
And what about
gas station?
Wow. All right. Okay, so that's a big thing. Okay, cool. Good to know. What about, like, is there like a beer or a booze or some kind of soda that's like a West Virginia icon?
Probably just Coke or Pepsi. I mean, I don't really hear, much talk about any others.
Heard that. Just checking. All right. Well, that's all I got. Just asking iconic food and drinks. That's really what I'm trying to figure out. So, how's Weston? Is Weston a cool town?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what town to stay in. Is that a good town?
Yeah, we've got a beautiful hotel right here. We're right off the interstate, and we're like 5 minutes from downtown Weston, 2 minutes from the interstate, and then if you want to drive about 20 minutes the other way, you can go to a town called Buchanan, and there's some wonderful restaurants there.
Buchanan, okay.
Mhm. And there's actually a restaurant in Buchanan called the Donut Shop. They're open 24/7. It's like a coffee house, and they sell what people say are the best pepperoni rolls in this entire state.
Oh, what's the name of it? The Donut Shop?
Yep.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, okay. I got to make that happen. All right. Thank you. I'll call you back when I get the spot. Thank you so much.
All right, honey. You're welcome.
Well, I guess we got to call the Donut Shop. They're 24/7. And apparently they got the best pepperoni rolls in the state. Let's do it. Call the Donut Shop. I don't think it's going to go well, but let's see.
Donut Shop, this is Robert.
What's up, Robert? What's the best donut you have at the Donut Shop?
The best donut?
Yep.
Peanut Butter Delight.
Peanut Butter Delight? What's in that?
It's a peanut butter fluff filling with chocolate on top.
Ooh, damn. Like a yeasted raised donut or like a fried?
Yes, it's a yeast raised donut.
Oh, nice. And I hear you have the best pepperoni rolls. Is that true?
Yes.
What makes yours better than other places?
Well, everything's made in-house, man.
All right. Other places
The
hack
dough
out?
and stuff like that's made in-house. It's real good, soft, dough and stuff. Plus, also, the pepperoni's ground, so you get a bite with the pepperoni with each one.
You do the round pepperoni. That's a big difference. A lot of places do the stick.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in. All right. I'm not in town, but when I get into town, you're the number one spot I'm going to.
All right. I was going to say, I don't know if I will be here,
Okay.
but morning shift should be able to take care of you.
Well, I don't know when I'll be there, but when I get there, I'm going to crush a pepperoni roll and one of those peanut butter fluffy boys.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
I don't know. I guess he confirmed it. Like, I don't know. There's a donut shop and a donut shop pepperoni roll, so I don't know. I don't know who to trust here. I think the one thing we learned... What a great conversation we had with that guy. That's for sure. I mean, I don't know where else to go. I made bad pepperoni rolls. These are more like strombolis that are trying to be pepperoni rolls. Pepperonis are obviously soft, with the thing, and I made these more like strombolis. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm doing. I wasn't gonna buy 24 pepperoni rolls from West Virginia, have them shipped here. That seemed ludicrous. What the hell am I gonna do with 24 pepperoni rolls? But I think we can at least say we confirmed the pepperoni roll is the bit. I think we can say it. Week 48, West Virginia. Arguably the shortest. What's the time on the show? Arguably the shortest show in Bits and Bytes history. Week 48. In the bag. I don't know what to say. I got no guests from West Virginia. No one got back to me. I mean, we talked to a few people from there. They were a little bit of a bore. We talked to Donut Shop Man. He was a pro. He confirmed everything the other chick said. I called her. I said, what's the number one food? She said pepperoni rolls. Check, check, check. It sounds like I'm in the money. Week 48 in the bag? What's the schedule look like? Let's see it. Week 48, West Virginia in the bag, baby. Pepperoni rolls and questionable bourbon. Done. Week 49 and week 50 on deck. Week 49, Wisconsin coming up in a big, big way. And then the big finale of Bits and Bytes 2021, the United States tour, ends on the great and powerful state of Wyoming. Wyoming? Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out for Wyoming. Ugh. I mean, we had a lot of great episodes. Look, we ride the snake on this show. You know what I'm saying? If it's a good state, we roll with it. It's a long, big episode, lots of food, lots of tricks. It's a boring state. If it's a West Virginia, perhaps, let's just say, for example, I'm not saying it's boring, but let's just say it's a West Virginia. There's not a lot of places to go. We got the bourbon. That's great. We made some bad pepperoni rolls, pepperoni. Great. You learned something, we learned something. It's great. You know what I'm saying? You think back, you reminisce about some other states. I mean, what we got? We got Colorado, New York, big time guests, Nevada, Ohio, every other state. A lot of the states are great. West Virginia, I'm sorry. You're just not bringing it to the table. Maybe there's someone out there who wants to contribute and say, hey, West Virginia's fucking fantastic, bro. Here's all the things you're missing. Boom, 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 boom. They're not here. I'm here. We got pep rolls that I made like strombolis. These like pseudo strombolis. Watched a video, saw how bad these were. Tasty, though, nonetheless. I like the idea of the pepperoni baked into a bread. I might steal that for a future thing. It's not a big deal. Thank you, chat. Quote, when your iconic beverages are Coke and Pepsi, you get a fucking 60-minute episode. That's exactly, truer words never spoken. I don't know what else to tell you. When you talk to multiple people in your state and they go, man, the best thing we have out here is Coke and Pepsi. I don't know what you want me to do. Can only milk the cow so much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, some states are harder than others. This one's not hard. There's just nothing here. This is a fucking dry. We're dry. You know what I'm saying? Week 48. In the bag. 2 more states left, everybody. two more states left in the Bits and Bytes United States edition. This has been week 47. No. This has been week 48. Week 49 is coming. And then week 50 is here. And then there is no more Bits and Bytes United States edition. What are you going to do when you can't watch this program every week? I don't know. You better fucking tune in. I know what you're going to do. You're going to bitsandbytes.us right now on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and watch all the previous episodes. That's right, from Alaska to Alabama, California, everything in between, New Jersey, Wyoming, everything in between. All 50 episodes you can watch live right now on YouTube. bitsandbytes.us. Bring you right there. Follow me on Instagram at TheBillyVegas, at HackChef, depending on what you're looking for. This is exasperating. Bits and Bytes, week 48, West Virginia. I'm getting a little something. You know what I'm saying? Getting a little something. It's coming. I don't believe it's ending. Wow. Crazy. Join us next week for the great state of Wisconsin and all of its cheese and curds and everything in between. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining and watching. Appreciate you. Happy Bits and Bytes. 2 more weeks left. 2 more episodes left. I hope you join us. See you next week when we go to Wisconsin. Good night.
Yeah.